Good day everyone. You're welcome to another episode of our weekly news recap on Bitcoin retests key level that sparked 66% BTC price gains in 2021. Subscribe to Cryptobit Girl channel for more content like this. Like the video and comment on the video. MicroStrategy reveals a fresh BTC buy, but Bitcoin price action is still being held captive by the 200-day moving average. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed BTC/USD encountering downward pressure as financial markets opened on April 5th. The pair was thus more or less at the same level as 24 hours previously, with the intervening period seeing volatility both up and down. Amid an overall lack of direction, traders and analysts waited to see where the largest cryptocurrency would go next. Popular Twitter account Civiconom was optimistic, highlighting a CME futures gap at $54,000 as a potential target. Fellow account Crypto Rover noted the significance of the 200-day moving average that Bitcoin was attempting to break through. Historically, success in doing so had led to significant price gains, he highlighted. News that MicroStrategy had purchased over 4,000 BTC, meanwhile, was unable to deliver lasting market strength, despite praise from commentators. The firm's Bitcoin treasury thus stood at 129,218 BTC, still by far the largest in the world. As Cointelegraph reported, however, plans by blockchain protocol Terra meant that its own stash should ultimately surpass that of MicroStrategy and every other Bitcoin whale. Analyst eyes impressive Q1 close. For trader and analyst Rect Capital, meanwhile, there was much to celebrate in Bitcoin on higher timeframes. In a series of tweets on April 5th, he declared Bitcoin's Q1 candle a successful achievement despite its price at the start of Q2 being practically the same. What's interesting about BTC right now is that it is in the process of retesting the quarterly mid-range area as support on the weekly timeframe. Rect Capital further signaled incoming volatility on the weekly chart, thanks to a tightening of the Bollinger Band's volatility indicator. The Bitcoin price trading in a price range in between support and resistance. And this range of support is sitting at around $38,000 to $39,000 per Bitcoin as support, but then we have this range of resistance in the VP/VR indicator, which is starting at around 41,000 approximately and going up towards around 40 to 43,000. And it's only when the Bitcoin price breaks one of those levels, so either breaks below support or above resistance, that Bitcoin will finally choose its next direction in terms of the short-term trends. Now, technically speaking, we have not confirmed a reversal out of this short-term bearish trends. Because if you're looking at the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, the parabolic stop or inverse indicator is still sitting in the red, and the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI in 12. I'll be going back. Haven't exactly flipped bullish, at least just yet. But obviously the 12-hour Bitcoin MACD is very close to seeing another bullish cross. In fact, at the time of recording this video, we are currently seeing a bullish cross. But this is not confirmed because we still need to see at least a 12-hour candle close, which would cement this bullish cross in place. And once again, that has not happened right now. So it is important to remain patient because, like I said, we're technically still in this short-term bearish trends. And we have not confirmed a bullish reversal just yet. But looking at our Fibonacci levels, we do have the 50% level coming into play at around 39,000, but more importantly, the golden pockets, which should be acting as major support, and that is coming into play at around $37,000 to $38,000 per Bitcoin. And over here on this daily Bitcoin charts, nothing much has happened over the past couple of days. So I'm gonna keep these really quick. Basically, the Bitcoin price on the daily timeframe has still been forming higher lows ever since the January low, and of course, we've been following higher highs as well. So technically speaking, Bitcoin has been in an uptrend on the larger timeframes ever since January. But it is very important to keep an eye on these levels of support. First of all, this ascending line of support is coming into play at around 39,000. And so basically, while the Bitcoin price is remaining above those important levels of support, the larger multi-month trend is technically still intact. But if Bitcoin starts breaking below these levels, then that means that this larger trend is starting to reverse back to the downside. Again, as I mentioned roughly around a week ago, it is entirely possible that this entire pattern over the past couple months could be a giant bear flag. If we see a confirmed break below these levels of support, which has not happened right now. I want to make that clear. So as I said earlier, it's important just to remain patient because right now the Bitcoin price is kind of in a deciding moment, because we're technically still in the shorter term downtrend. You're talking about these downtrends that lasts for around 1 to 2 weeks or so, but at the same time, we're technically still within this multi-month uptrend, especially if we hold this support. And if you're wondering what my personal Bitcoin strategy is at the moment, right now, I'm just being patient and slowly dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin at the moment, because we have a lack of confirmation at the moment on the smaller timeframes. Bitcoin has not confirmed another uptrend just yet, but on the larger timeframes, Bitcoin has not confirmed another downtrend just yet. So once we finally see some more confirmation on the direction that Bitcoin is heading, I'll be sure to keep you updated. And of course, I'll keep letting you know my current Bitcoin strategy moving forward as things continue to progress here. But if you're looking at the total amount of Bitcoin, it's sitting on exchanges. Over the past few days, we've actually seen a massive decline, even just over the past one day. We are still seeing a lot of Bitcoin leave exchanges, which is typically more of a bullish thing for Bitcoin. And in fact, just over the past 5 days around 41,200, Bitcoin has left exchanges, which is equivalent to around $1.6 billion worth of Bitcoin leaving exchanges in less than a week. And if you're looking at the last time we saw something like this happen, that was around 1 month ago, just before a $10,000 pump in the Bitcoin price from around 38,000 to 48,000. The more Bitcoin that leaves exchanges, the more bullish the next move will be in the Bitcoin price. And then what is really interesting is just before Bitcoin crashed during May last year, we actually saw a significant inflow of Bitcoin on exchanges, which basically means selling pressure was coming into the markets, and then we saw a decent amount of Bitcoin leave exchanges during September, which led the Bitcoin price to pump from around 40,000 to around 69,000. And then since then, nothing much has really happened in the Bitcoin on exchanges up until around March, where we have seen another massive drop-off in Bitcoin on exchanges, showing a huge Bitcoin accumulation happening over the past 1 to 2 months. Now obviously, this is not at the same scale as what we saw during 2020. So we're not necessarily in for another 500% pump, but this is at a similar scale to what we saw during September 2021, which led the Bitcoin price to pump from around 40,000 up towards new all-time highs. So this is definitely an interesting Bitcoin on-chain metric to keep in mind, and just taking a quick look at the Bitcoin audible across all of these exchanges. And right now, we actually have a decent amount of buying demand below $40,000 per Bitcoin, and going further into that $30,000 price range. And if you're looking at the Bitcoin sell orders across all of these exchanges, right now, we have a fairly even distribution of sell orders except for 42,000s. We actually have a decent amount of sell orders piled in at $42,000 per Bitcoin, which could be acting as resistance in the shorter term. That's all we have for you on this episode of This Week in Crypto. Please hit the like buttons and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And don't forget to drop your observations and comments below. Thanks for watching.